This is season 4, and I am on a mission to help creatives become the most loved versions of themselves. I want to help you step into health in every single area of your life and pursue the authentic creative expression that you feel called to and that only you can. The world feels crazy right now, and we need healthy creatives more than ever. So let's get into it. I'm Courtney Lancaster, and this is the Heal Create podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Heal Create podcast. I'm thrilled to have one of my friends and colleagues of the last few years, Cara Campbell. Hi.
Hi. It's so good to be with you.
It's so good to have you here.
I'm smiling so big because I'm just like, oh, your face, you're so perfect.
I know. We're in love.
We're in love.
I met Cara. Okay, this is what I remember. I know about you because you did I think it was something, a like seminar, like a free webinar or something on was it hormone health in 2019?
Oh, yeah.
Or like nutrition and cycle syncing or something.
Uh-huh.
Does that sound familiar?
Yes. Yeah. In 2019, either 2019 or 2020, I did. Yeah.
Yes. And that's kind of how I got into your orbit. And then you started doing these sort of little pods of women that walking them through, well, it was like, how would you explain that?
Well, you joined my mastermind, right?
I did eventually. First, I did the 6 weeks. Oh,
Embody Circles.
Circles. Yes.
Embody Circles. Yes. Oh my gosh, I missed that. Yes, it was like a 6 to 8 week program of going through a process of reconnecting to your body, really looking at the relationship you have with your body, your language around embodiment, what that word even means to you, because it was just starting to get buzzy, that term embodiment.
Yeah.
And then you came to Embody Circles.
Yes, which was amazing. And it was really great for me at the time because it was kind of, it was during 2020 and it was like a really great, or maybe early 2021, really great, like feminine, female connection of like-minded people. And at the time I didn't have that. So that was essential. And I think that was a perfect, and then we ended up doing a mastermind. I was in your mastermind for a while with this amazing group of women. And so that's like both of those things are a perfect embodiment of who you are to me, who I see you as, which is this which is unusual to find, but a very healthy 7. And I love 7s.
We're like prone towards all kinds of toxicity.
Yeah, but you're
which I had plenty. I have plenty of, but
sure, don't we all? But I think you're friends with all of your corners, and I think that's what shines through. And so I think, as a healthy 7, you also highly value healthy relationships. And the reason why I wanted to have you on the podcast this month is because every single month for this school year, from September to May, we're doing, for creatives, we're talking about the different pillars of a healthy creative life. And February is all about relationships. And so you are my February 2nd when we're recording this, and you are my first guest. And I asked you, because you've begun posting more, you're coaching again. Thank God, you're incredible, a celebrator of people. You are like somebody that you really see people. But the thing that I am so almost, what's the word? Not intimidated, but like mystified by is what a champion, and I think now an expert on and passionate about feminine friendships. Which is why I wanted to have you here. You are a gatherer of women, and you genuinely love it. I feel like you're really comfortable in the spotlight, but I also have seen you spotlight other women like it's a double win. If your friends win, you win too.
It always is, right? Like it always is a double win. I think what's interesting, thank you for all of that. I love that. And I love women supporting women. And when I think of women and how we're made to operate, I really do think of the word circle. Like we're meant to be so connected as a circle. And if the circle's raising, we're all raising. And if the circle's sinking, we're all sinking. like this imagery of all of us holding hands in a circle or something. So if one of us is struggling or rising, we kind of all are.
Yeah.
And I think culturally, when I like think on it, I'm like, we are taught from day one to compete. Day
Yes.
one, coming out of the womb, we are taught that another woman is a threat to us, and then it's reinforced a bazillion different ways. But when I like really sit back and listen to what I know internally, it's that when I help another woman rise, I benefit from it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It's almost
Right.
like a very practical thing for me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yes, totally. And I think that like you also speak a lot on relationships. You went on your own journey of finding Caleb, your partner, and understanding, like really leaning into like singleness and what does it look like to
Mm,
be healthy and single, and then also healthy dating, and then also healthy entering into a relationship. And you've talked a lot about, at least in my friendship with you, healthy polarity and like the
mm,
masculine and the feminine. And so
mhm,
I think that this month, I'm also gonna like have my husband on, and I'm gonna have one of my best friends is a guy. And so I'm gonna have him on. And there's just so much healthy understanding of like what different people's essence does for each
yes.
of us and what giving our healthy essence does. And what you had said when I was talking to you about being on this podcast last week was like the magic of being a mirror for your feminine friends, and
Mm,
like the feminine to
mhm,
feminine like healing that happens
mhm,
when we're in health and we're in support of each other
mm.
is magical.
Yes. Yes.
So can you yeah, yes.
I'm
So
just
that's what
yesing.
long-winded way of saying, I guess what I'm trying to share with my audience is that I deeply
Mm,
trust you as a source of inspiration for feminine
mm.
friendships and a lot of different relationships. But for you, with your journey in studying relationships and figuring out how to have
Mm.
healthy relationships, what has it been like to understand what a healthy feminine friendship is?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll leave that question.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that all of this, right? Like any relationship we're in is a journey. And I went through a lot of phases of unhealthy relationship with my feminine friends
Yeah.
to get to a place of understanding what health could look like.
Yeah.
And a lot of those, luckily, I still am friends with, right? I think of like my best friend
Yeah.
from college who we met when we were barely 18 and we were dumb. We were just young and dumb, but we always joke that we have some kind of karma because we have probably needed to break up 16 times in our
Totally.
friendship. But
Totally.
then we move through the muddy and we move through the messy and we evolve because of it,
Yeah.
right? And I think in some ways, the beauty of a really close feminine friend is that it can, in some ways, prepare you for an intimate friendship or an intimate relationship too, right? Like
Totally.
I got married later at 35, and I always joke that my closest friends before Caleb were great mirrors to me for things that I needed to be aware of in myself in going into a partnership,
Yeah.
right? Because we were so close and we were doing life side by side and simultaneously, and I was getting all these mirrors of shortcomings or shadow sides inside of me that I got to look at before marriage because
Right.
of these women in my
Right.
life. um so I say all that to say I think my road of friendship has been rocky and bumpy, but I will say I have been the most shaped and transformed by the women in my life, right? They
Yeah.
have completely impacted who I've become as a woman.
Yeah.
And my mom used to say this thing all the time. She used to say, "Show me your friends and I'll show you your future." And
Yeah.
I thought it was so cheesy. I was like, "Mom, what are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And now I'm like, wow, the wisdom in that. Like
Yeah.
show me who you are letting impact you and letting speak into the most inner parts of your world, and I will show you who you will become in 5 years, right? Like
Yeah.
we can predict who you're becoming by the 5 people you spend the closest amount of time with.
Yeah.
And I think as women we really are made for feminine village and connection. And I think this even more so after becoming a mama, right? Like I
Yeah.
think of my mamas around me who have held me, you know this, Courtney, but for the past 4 years, I've basically been in a baby cocoon.
Yeah.
And the mamas who
Maybe
have held me, and yeah, baby cave, who have held me in that messiness
yeah.
have allowed me to fall apart, re-evolve, come back to myself, become the version of the mother that I am today. So it's a long-winded answer, but I think,
Oh, it's
yeah,
great.
I think it's really been this journey of recognizing that even in the messy, women, the women are always shaping me.
How would you describe from scratch, from somebody who's like, what's a mirror? What do you mean mirroring?
Yeah.
Like, how would you describe that? What does that mean for you?
Mm. Hmm. Yeah. Well, I think I've shared about this on Instagram a little bit, but I think that in friendship, a tendency that is so common is to want to be helpful. As women, we want to be helpful, right? Men do too. But in our own ways, we often think that advice or telling you what to do is helpful. And we live in a culture of Instagram. So we're constantly
Yeah.
offering advice, taking in advice, seeing other people's opinions on a subject. But I think a true mirror is a friend who can actually mirror back to you what's already inside of you, the wisdom that's already existing inside of you. So here's a example. I
Yeah.
called Mel, who's like one of my closest girlfriends, the other day, and I was processing this big decision. I was like, "What do you think?" And she said, "Quote, I think you already know. I think you
Yeah.
already know." And there are absolutely times when we offer advice and we offer our opinion. But I think the most profound friends for me have been the ones who have been willing to say, "Here, look in this mirror. Look at what you already can find inside of yourself. Not here's what I think you should do based on my set of experiences and my set of upbringing or whatever it might be. But instead, here's a mirror that I can hold to the wisdom that's already there inside of you. And maybe you don't see it and I can help you find it." So I think that's really the essence of a mirror, is someone who sometimes can offer you advice and guidance, but really allows you to see yourself.
Yes. And the
Hmm.
truth of who you are and what you carry.
Yes.
Um, what about the flip side of the mirror where they're also showing you like you're smiling because where they're
Uh,
also showing you maybe the shadow or the pain that you
yeah.
might not have known was there had they not mirrored it back to you. What has
Yeah.
that looked like in your life, and how would you describe that to somebody who doesn't know?
Yeah. Well, I would say with that form of the mirror or that version of the mirror, it's really important that whatever relationship is presenting it to you feels really, really safe,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
Because there's a very big difference if a girlfriend who I'm kind of close with shows me something versus a girlfriend who is like in my inner world and I trust that she is always wanting the best for me, right? Like I feel this deep safety with her. When she mirrors something to me that maybe makes me feel uncomfortable about myself,
yeah,
I'm more willing to sit with it, right? Because I trust her already. There's a safety built in. And that's why I think, when we talk about female friendships, we have to talk about this idea of safety. Like, how do we
yeah,
create that for and with one another, so that we do have the opportunity to be mirrors in both light and in shadow.
yeah, totally. Um,
Yeah.
how do you create safety with a female friend? What does that look like? What does that feel like?
Hmm. I think uh, I think creating safety really comes down to being in relationship with people who are willing to own their inner world,
Yeah.
right? So it's
The only
agency is
way.
what it's the only way.
Yeah.
I think now, and again, I'm 41. I'm at a point where I'm like, I used to have a lot more bandwidth for friendship and relationship, and I think having kids kind of shrinks your bandwidth.
Sure,
And
naturally.
potentially, what I've done in my own like evolving and inner work, I just now I'm like, I only want to be in relationship with people, close relationship, with people who are so willing to own all of themselves. And by that I mean so willing to look at themselves, to hold nuance,
Yeah.
to be willing to evolve and grow and change their mind. Um, and that for me creates safety,
Yeah.
right? And I think that concept of safety probably differs for a lot of people, but for me, it really does come down to, are you willing to look at yourself? Like, can we be in a relationship where we are mutually committed to growing and evolving as people? And when I see that and I witness that in a friend, it creates safety for me because I
Yeah.
recognize, like, wow, she's on a journey and she's trusting herself. She's operating an agency. She's listening to her inner voice.
Yeah.
And for me, that creates this sense of safety.
Yeah. Yes, totally.
Mhm.
I don't know if you can, well, it sounds like you probably can relate to this, but the amount of time that I spent talking through things with friends in my 20s and 30s, where it was
Mhm.
like so much, it was so many masks that I had myself that I was unaware of, combined with so much blame because I was so
Mhm.
uncomfortable with what was coming up in me. And I was like, there's a lot of defense. I wasn't in, not that I was a terrible person, but I wasn't always looking for connection. A lot of times I was looking for justice,
Yeah.
for the pain that already was inside of me before this person ever came along. And
Mm.
I guess that's getting into projection.
Mhm.
Um, and so when you're talking about safety and people owning their inner world, like the quantity of friendships, female friendships in my life have gone down, but the
Mhm.
depth of the ones that I
Mhm.
have
Mhm.
has like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it makes up for that in spades. Because when somebody is willing to do, and I'll speak for myself, as soon as I learned how to stop projecting my pain onto other people, meaning
Mm.
if a friend mirrors to me, especially a feminine friends bring up mother wounds, they bring up
Oh, yeah.
belonging, they bring up
All the
comparison,
tender parts.
all of the most tender parts. And
Yeah.
before I knew what was going on, that was when that would come up in me immediately, like we do, and
Mhm.
just developmentally appropriate for a time, is we just immediately think it's the other person's fault doing something to us.
Totally.
And then
Yeah.
once we begin to say, like, oh no, this is something that's coming up in me, ugh, like even still,
Yeah.
I also have a friend that we should have broken up 16 times. And she is now my best friend lifer. And she knows
Mhm.
everything. She knows Stephanie,
Yeah.
she's been on this podcast. She knows everything. I mean,
Mm.
ev- you know, she knows it. She
Mhm.
knows everything.
Yep. Yep.
And I at this point I'll be like, she'll have something come up or say something or have show me a part of me, and I'm like, ugh. We don't even have to go through like, what did you mean by that? Or like that. It just made me
Yeah.
feel really offensive. It's like we're so beyond that. I'm like, oh, that immediately brings up inadequacy. Oh, that brings
Yes.
up my own feeling of whatever. Can I don't know if you can speak to that, but does that resonate?
It totally resonates. Yes. And again, I think this is just part of like growing up, right? And going on the
Yeah,
journey
totally.
of having those really big, messy friendships and then resolving them or creating, like, I think what you're explaining with Stephanie is such a beautiful example of like rupture and repair
Yeah,
over and over.
yeah,
So that by the time you're now 16 years later into friendship, it's so strong. It's like so intertwined and deep because it's
yeah,
gone through so much rupture and repair that it can hold every secret, every little detail, every bigness that you carry inside of you, right? Like it can hold all of that. And I think sometimes, we can get into these modes of like, well, this is really hard. I guess we're not meant to be friends. And I think there are absolutely times, and I think this is so individual and not prescriptive, but like there are times where when you push through with a girlfriend that has felt a little bumpy at first, man, the bond that can come after that. I recently had I had not a conflict, but I had to ask a girlfriend a hard question because something came up in our dynamic, and she is one of my soul people, but she's a
Yeah.
newer soul person. She's
Okay.
like, 3 years of friendship or something. And I felt so vulnerable being like, I really want to talk to you about this thing. And I also don't want to make it a thing if it's not a thing, but I'm going to bring it up. And afterwards, the amount of connection that we were able to experience because we talk through this sticky thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's also an important thing to name, is that female friendship is often an invitation for just deeper self understanding and then
Yeah.
deeper connection with each other. Right. And that's where I really do see them going hand in hand,
Yeah.
because I don't think you can create a tribe, a village, a soul group of women if you're not willing to go there in yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
Because you have to be able to hold all of the messy parts of yourself if you're going to hold the messy parts of another woman. And
Yeah.
that's what creates the circle. That's what
Yeah.
creates this sense of we belong to each other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So how would you this might seem like the most obvious question in the world, but I am actually
Mhm.
curious about your specific answer.
Yeah.
How would you describe femininity? What is the feminine essence?
Oh gosh, like so complicated.
I know it's like saying, "What is love?" But it's
What is
honestly
love?
because if we're talking about feminine friendships, it's different
Yeah.
from if we're talking about, like,
Yeah.
sisters and women and powerful, like, that feminine
Yeah.
to feminine connection, which has been it's life. I mean,
Yeah.
women are life. They are soil and women, the only things that grow life in the earth. Like, we give so much life, so I'm wondering, like, what is the feminine essence? Like, how would you describe
Mm,
that? What does it
I love
give?
this question. Well, I would say my gut word that comes is expansion, like expansive.
Mhm. Yeah,
We've been working on a revision for the Mama deck, and we're working on this card called the womb. And it's literally about the feminine, right? And it's
yeah,
about this idea that no life that has ever existed, ever, came from anywhere other than a womb. Like all life comes from the womb,
yeah,
which is femininity.
yeah,
It's this void, this darkness,
yep,
this spaciousness that holds a mystery and a portal to the divine
yeah,
and to life. Um, and so I think when I use the word femininity, really that's what I'm referring to, is
yeah,
this womb divine portal
yeah,
that we all carry as women. We all
yeah,
carry this possibility of creating life. And what I think is really beautiful when I think about it that way and I name it that way, like I think I said this to you when we were talking about this podcast, but like that's what we get to be to our friends.
yes,
We
yeah,
get to be more life. Like we get to expand them and hold them and like usher them into more of themselves and more life. And that, I mean, that is the coolest thing ever, that we get to do that.
yeah, yeah. What a
Does that answer your
beautiful
question about femininity?
yes, totally. I mean, there's so many directions that you can
Mm,
go into it with,
yes,
but I think, like,
totally.
why is it so important for women? What differentiates it from other friendships? And I think you're right. Like, we're life supporting life
Yes.
and creation supporting creation, creators supporting
Yeah.
creators, and the nurture and, you know, beauty in whatever unique way you feel led to express it. Like,
Mhm.
I love being a woman. And I
Me too.
love and I love studying femininity, and I love that different people see it from different angles, but
Yeah.
it seems like there are a few things that we can all land on, and you saying the womb, life, creation is
Mhm.
definitely, like, the essence of what femininity is. So, when we're talking about friendships, what do you think your healthiest feminine friendships feel like in your body?
Mm. Mhm.
My embodiment friend. Probably the first time
Great.
I ever even
Let's go.
heard the word embodiment was from you, or, like, understood it as a concept was from you back in the day.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I love that. um, the healthiest female feminine friendships in my life feel they feel two things. They feel really rooted, like I feel like I'm on solid ground,
Yeah. Oh,
and equally because I feel like femininity is always both and, right?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
both things. Um, they feel wildly possible. Like I feel like with my closest girlfriends right now, when I am around them, I feel possibility.
Yeah.
And sometimes with certain friends, sometimes that's around my career because some of them really highlight that in me. With some of them, it feels like possibility around more enjoyment and motherhood because
Yeah.
that's something they highlight in me or mirror to me, maybe. Um, but yeah, it feels like those two things, like a deep, safe rootedness with
Yeah.
an equal amount of like, oh, there's so much possibility.
Yeah. Yes. Totally.
Mhm.
And so it sounds like I had a question about like how have say I think you might have answered it, but I wonder if there's anything else you would want to add, which is like how to say friendships, healthy feminine friendship. How has that changed who you are and what you
Mm.
feel like you're capable of creating?
Yeah. I mean, it's changed everything. Changed
Yeah.
everything, really.
Yeah.
Um, I think I'm going to answer this question with like the opposite because I think I shared about this on the internet actually. I was talking to one friend who will go unnamed,
Yeah.
but I was sharing a desire. I was sharing like a really deep desire of mine. And it was vulnerable for me to share. And I had a little bit of a gut check before sharing it. You know, when you're like in a conversation and you're like, oh, I
Yeah.
don't know if I should go here, but I'm already, my mouth is already moving. So
Totally.
I'm on the,
Yep.
keep going. So I shared this thing and it was met with a lot of resistance and opinion
Mhm.
um, based on her opinion of something else. And as I was listening to her kind of respond to me, I was aware that this is all her stuff, right? That she's uncomfortable with and is projecting it onto my desire. But I felt small. I felt smaller after the conversation. And I I think I'm at, again, I said this earlier, but I think I'm at a point now where I'm hyper aware of that in life. Like I don't have
Yeah.
bandwidth to feel small. It's
Yeah.
not helpful for me. Um, and I was processing it with my husband and I said to him, I said, that is what my inner critic sounds like. That is what my inner critic sounds exactly like. This little chip on my shoulder that's telling me why I shouldn't be doing something or why it's not the best thing or why whatever the argument of the inner critic is. And
In
my inner critic now, I mean, in different seasons of life it was different, but now my inner critic, it doesn't sound like you're not good enough or like it more is like, why would you do that? Why would there's other people that should be doing that, right? Like my inner critic voice has
like a
changed.
who do you think you are kind of or just like a
Yeah, a little who do you think you are, or like just some like some doubt around things working, right? Like, oh, you've disappeared from
yeah, oh,
coaching
totally.
for years, so maybe it's, maybe it's not going to work. Whatever that inner critic sounds like, that's what this friend was sounding like to me. And I noticed it and I I did some journaling, some work around it to release it.
Yeah.
And then I called a friend who I know is my cheerleader, right? And I was like, can you just speak some life over me and this thing that I'm desiring? Because it just got trampled on.
Yeah.
But I think that, yeah, I think to answer your question, it really, for me, it's like, how do we find voices in our lives that are willing to shadow, or excuse me, willing to mirror our shadow or our shortcomings, but really what they want to mirror is how much possibility is within
Yeah.
us to become who we want to become, right? Like
Yeah.
I think I've been spending a lot of not I think I have been spending a lot of time in the past year quietly in this baby cocoon doing visualizations and dreaming and starting to like create from the womb space, from the darkness, from the void. And in that space, I think there's not a lot of room for like uh lack of belief, right?
Totally.
It requires to create something new requires this like deep trust, or at least the hope of a deep trust that it's all working out for you. And I want to be in friendship and I want to be a friend who says this is possible for you. Like this is available to you and you can have what you want. You can create what you want. You can become what you want. And you can trust your desires. Your desires are not leading you astray. You can actually listen to your inner voice that's like nudging at that door. And I want to empower you to listen to that voice. Like that feels like healthy,
Yeah.
grounding relationship to me.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Long-winded, but
Ugh, not at all. Oh my gosh. That makes me emotional. I'm like thinking about like a baby growing in the
yes.
belly and like imagine when that baby is growing legs if we were like, but what if you trip though?
Yeah,
What if you
totally.
fall? Like everybody has
Yeah, there's
legs.
a
Like,
lot of dangerous sidewalks out there. So, mm,
people break their legs. Have you heard that?
yeah,
Like, are you sure
yes,
you want to grow those legs? You are absolutely right. Yeah, go ahead.
yes. And well, I was just gonna say, and like, don't, as a friend, don't you think your friend has already thought through all of those things times 30? Right? Like that was my
Totally.
response was I have already thought about all of those things times 30. You're telling me this thing you're concerned about. You're telling me there's a dangerous sidewalk, don't grow legs. I've thought about all of the dangerous things that are possible to walk on everywhere, and I still want legs, you know? So I think
Yeah.
sometimes as friends and we can get into this, but this is where it comes down to like are we being active listeners for one another? Are we really just
So
listening
good.
and allowing someone to share and then mirroring it back, or are we so quick to jump in with our 2 cents about dangerous sidewalks?
Yeah, totally. Well, and like, something was like 95% of what we're afraid of never actually happens. But that
Yes.
5% makes such an impression that it will, I mean, we're biologically wired, obviously, to stay away from danger. And the 5% or whatever, the 2%, especially when we're talking about like career, um, it's so powerful. We really do need as many voices as possible to be speaking possibility over us, to be
Yeah.
like the mothers to the baby in the womb. And I mean, or,
Mhm.
you think about if you're the one having the baby and you have a bunch of people that are around you that are like, are you sure though? You sure want to have that baby? It's a crazy world out there. Like lots of things could happen to
Totally.
that baby. Like that's just the last thing that a mother needs. And as women, whether we're having babies or we're birthing dreams, it's the same. Like we need the women around us as a village. Oh, and our world needs healthy, creative women like bringing
Mhm.
forth the things that they have inside of them. I say more than ever. Just that's just because I happen to be alive right now. So I'll just say more
Mhm.
than ever because the
Mhm.
world is so
Mhm.
loud and
Mhm.
there's so much fear and so much danger being poured into our nervous systems that like
Yeah.
it would make
Yes.
you think that the things that you
Yes.
want to pursue are either not important or going to hurt things or uh, won't make a dent or whatever it is. You're absolutely right that like our feminine friends are the ones as life givers themselves that speak life into our dreams,
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
birthing our dreams into the world actually makes it a better place.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I think about when I was in labor with my second Rune. I had a 63-hour labor, which was pretty horrific, like the most the longest journey I've ever been on.
my god.
It was so intense. But at hour, I don't know, at hour 36, we went to the hospital because we I had been in labor for 36 hours and they thought he must be on his way. And we got there and I was zero point 0.5 centimeters dilated.
Oh, no.
I know. And I was exhausted. I was terrified. I was exhausted. I had had an emergency
Oh,
C-section with my
yes.
first baby, and I
Same,
really wanted to be back
same.
with Rune. And I was in the, it's 1 a.m. in the ER, in the triage or whatever. And this midwife came in and she basically explained, she's like, you're in prodromal labor, which means that my body is contracting, ready to get him out, and he's not moving down. He's not ready. So I was ready. He's not
Wow.
ready.
Wow.
We're at a standstill. And I screamed on the table, and I was like, just fucking cut him out of me. Pardon my language. Just cut him out of me.
Yeah.
I was just screaming. And my doula came over and so gently she held my hand and she was like, Kara, you don't want that. Like, just, you
Wow.
don't want that. You that's not what you want. I was like, yes, I do. I do. I don't want to be. She said, you don't want to be in the situation you're in, but you don't want that.
Yeah.
And I remember that so strongly, just her being like, that's not really your deeper want. Like, yes, your short want, your little want in this moment is to be out of
Yeah.
pain and to be
Totally.
out of hurting and to just have your baby here. But your bigger want, can we tap into that for a second? And I think about that with her as a doula because I mean, I went on for another 30 hours and I had him vaginally, which is what I wanted. And I had the most beautiful experience
God.
birthing him. Like, so it makes me emotional, like
I know.
so redemptive in so many ways. There's so many, I could spend an entire podcast talking about that birth. Um,
Wow.
but that moment for me was really profound because she was able to allow me to see what I really, really wanted, like deeper than just getting out of pain. Right.
Yeah.
And I think as women, we get to do that for each other. Like, we get to be in these deep, intimate parts of each other's lives and really speak to, because we're so intuitive, right? Like, the feminine is so intuitive. We know each other. I'm like, I know what you want.
Yeah.
You want to be big and you want to be like bold and loud and expressive. And I can help midwife and doula that in my friends, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can help bring that to life by simply mirroring it back to them.
Yeah.
I think that's always been a really beautiful, it has become a really beautiful paradigm for me of like, that's how I want to hold the women in my life, is
Yeah.
like really allowing them to see in themselves the big, big, deep desire. Like, what's the
Yeah.
big thing that we can like usher you into?
Yes. Oh, I'm like on the verge of tears as you're telling the story. I think like it should have been obvious to me going into this conversation that of course like birthing babies or dreams would come into the idea of feminine support and feminine friendship. But it reminds me of your story with birthing Rune. Reminds me of, I had a friend who just gave birth, I guess it was like a month ago now, and it was her third baby and her biggest baby, and she did it naturally at home. And
Impressive. Love it.
she, so impressive, amazing. And she's
Mhm.
just like so beautiful and just has, that's like, she loves being a mother and all these things, and had gone through an incredibly hard season leading up to it. And so she's in
Mhm.
delivery. She's just noticing so much resistance in her body. You know how it is with birth. You're
Mhm.
just like, you just want to lock up.
Mhm.
Your body just so
Mhm.
instinctively goes into self-protection. And her midwife came over to her. Her midwife was with her, and her midwife leaned into her,
Mhm.
um, my friend, and said, "Can you tell your baby it's okay with me for you to be big? You're allowed
Mm.
to be big. It's okay for you to be big." I know.
I will cry. I will
I
cry.
know.
Oh, permission.
But
Mhm.
it was a
Mhm.
woman telling the mother that
Mother.
the
Mhm.
mother could tell the baby it's okay to be big. It wasn't the
Yeah.
midwife telling the baby even. It was
Yes.
like coaching the mother on how to birth this
Yes.
baby. And I think as women, we are all like walking each other towards birthing these dreams that we have inside of ourselves.
Absolutely.
And like
Absolutely.
telling, like, even when Mel was like, "I think you already know."
Mm.
Like she was telling you it's okay to tell your baby that it's safe to be big.
Yes.
Like she was
Yeah.
like telling you it's okay. Like we could get all the permission from
Mhm.
everybody else, but at the end of the day, like
Mhm.
we have to like give ourselves
Yeah.
permission to bring those things into the world.
Yeah.
But it's the
Yeah.
women around us that remind us that like we have what it takes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's the power of feminine friendship.
Oh, so there's so much in that. There's so much in that, right? Because it is another woman giving the woman the permission to give herself permission.
I know. Yes.
It's like so
Yeah.
epically beautiful.
Yeah.
Right before I pushed Rune out, my doctor, who is like a legend, she was like an angel sent from
Wow.
heaven.
Yeah.
She was the on-call doctor. She wasn't even my doctor, but she came into the room and she like grabbed my face and she said to me, she was like, honey, well, she said a lot of things. She was like, your body's made to do this. But then she said, the best births are the ones that we allow and not the ones we force. And she's like, you're doing that. You're just allowing. And I think too, it's like what we don't have to make anything happen. Like there's nothing where we have to go out and make happen. But I think when I think of the feminine, it's like, can we can we remove any limiting belief in ourselves or in the women around us that we're too big, that we're too loud, that we're too much, whatever the thing might be? Can we remove those barriers so that we can actually allow the bigness to come through?
Yeah.
Right? Because the bigness is already there. That baby was already there.
Right.
The bigness of the baby was already there.
Yeah.
But it was the allowing piece. I think that is so profound too, that we can remove the limitation or the belief of limitation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the overemphasizing of the danger, we can like remove that as well.
Mhm.
Danger
Mhm.
is inevitable in being a human, of course, but like you
Mhm.
have what it takes. You know,
Yes.
Kara, I just feel like I don't know that you know how dark of a season I was in when I
Mhm.
first met you and I was just kind of
Mhm.
participating in the things you were doing. It was really, really dark. And
Mhm.
I saw in you somebody that was just that saw every single person and was so glad that they were there
Mhm.
and could see life in every single person that you came across. And I know, and you know, that the world does need that more than ever. So I just feel like I want to say, I need and we need the thing that you feel called to do.
Thank
And
you.
it is safe to be big. It's
Ugh.
safe to the bigness of the thing that is inside of you is the healing that women like I was 6 years ago really, really needed. Really, really, really needed.
Ugh, thank you. Now you're making me cry.
You're just making me cry. Making me tear.
Uh,
Truly. Like,
Man, it
it's
feels
very
like
clear.
you saying that. I just want to like tell you, it feels so good and it makes me cry, right? Because I feel that. I'm like, I
Yeah.
want that. And
Yeah.
I also, I come with all of my own story
I know. I
that
know.
can keep me from. I shared this. I did an event, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and I shared this story of like, um, I did the event with Kirsten Kelly, and it
Oh,
was
yeah.
Gather,
Ugh, obsessed.
and we had like 40 women, and Kirsten led us in this like, like
Yeah.
ecstatic dance like party. And we were all 40 of us women are like dancing aggressively. And at one point we form a circle and we're like making women get in the middle of the circle and dance, like
Yeah.
if you're at a wedding and this happens.
Yeah.
And we are, oh my gosh, so ecstatically cheering people on when they're in the middle of the
Yeah.
circle. Like this
Yeah.
one woman jumps in the middle and we're screaming about her, like, yes, do more, like
Yeah.
twirl more, whatever the thing is. And then a couple months later, I hosted another event, and I was sharing this and talking about how as women, like, we are so scared to step into the middle of the circle. Like, we are
Yeah.
so scared. We're like, oh my gosh, everybody's going to judge me. And like, what if I look stupid or fall on my face? And actually, what happens is like women scream in
Oh my
excitement for
gosh.
you taking up that space. Like,
Yeah.
we want that. We want to witness other women taking up their space and their power. And when we see it done without the energy of competition or like making
Yeah.
someone else small, it is the most life-giving. When I witness another woman in the middle of a circle, it's so life-giving to
You're
me.
like, go, go, go.
Yes,
Yeah.
go. There's no like, oh, why is she doing that? Why is she in the middle of the circle? Why
Or
is she
she's taking
kicking
up
her
my
leg like
space. Yeah.
that? Totally.
Right.
There's none of that.
It's
There's
just
none of
enough.
that. There's just this understanding that there's always more room in the circle.
Yeah.
And I feel like in my life I've been I love cheerleading women. I really
Yeah.
do. I love seeing other women get big. Like, I want that more than anything. And I think for me in this next season, I can feel like it might be my turn to step towards the middle of the circle.
Totally.
I'm like, how about somebody else go?
Yeah.
Brittany, you want to go? You want to go in the middle of the circle? But that's my vulnerability edge too, right? Like, that's my growth
Mm.
edge
Yeah.
is can I be willing to be witnessed and seen in that way,
Yeah.
and not judge myself for taking up too much space.
And also not judge yourself for holding yourself back. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay. You have time. And
Yeah.
I feel like we're like, get out of your own way and like feel the fear and do it anyway. But I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, but like
Yes,
we don't
ma'am.
scream at flowers to bloom.
Yeah.
Like
Totally.
bloom faster. Like it's
Totally.
happening right now. It's already
Yeah.
happening. I do feel like you're probably a little bit too close to your own genius because what you're saying about like feeling so lit up by other women being lit up, I'm like, that's actually pretty rare. And I
Mm.
think that like we need you. So it's both.
Mm.
It's like you're fine and you have time. Like as you really, it's gonna happen. Obviously, it's happening.
Mm.
And at the same time, like it's pretty magical and it's
Mm.
pretty
Thank
rare.
you.
And like
Thank you.
the more that it does bloom, I
Yeah.
will definitely be on the outside of the circle screaming at
Oh,
you.
thank you. Thank you. I think I'm past the days of screaming at myself to get off the chair because I know it doesn't work.
I know, I know.
Like, that doesn't work. I can gently massage my shoulders off the chair,
Yeah,
maybe.
right. I know, I know. Yeah, there's like that tension of being frustrated at yourself because you're like, oh, I know, like I have a big thing to
Yeah.
give to the world, but then we have these young parts that are like, but
Yeah.
if you do, you're gonna die. It's just like
Yeah.
we can't take either of them literally.
Yeah.
We can
Totally.
tend to both of them kindly and
Yes.
continue to bloom anyways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I just love you so much. I
I love
really,
you.
really do. Oh man. Um, Anything really quick that you would want to say for women, I think young women especially. Well, women of
Mm.
all ages, but I know there are a lot of young
Yeah.
women that are really looking for those kinds of friendships.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing I would say is it's overused, but we attract not what we want, but what we are, right? And so
Yeah.
it's really important that as a person who's desiring strong, intimate village soul friends, you become that. You become that kind of friend, and you begin to attract it. And I think too, for someone who feels like they might not have that, there's really, there's ways to start practicing depth of connection in relationships that can sound really like simple or cheesy, but do them anyway, right? Like simple
Yeah.
things like asking intentional questions, or being willing to share something and say like, "Hey, I really have this thing that's vulnerable for me. Could I share it with you? Would you be
Yeah.
willing to listen to, like looking for ways to ask for what you want and need." Because
Yeah.
I think too, women, we're a little bit at a disadvantage in the sense that taught not to want, taught not to need anything. Like, don't be too much, don't ask for
Yeah.
anything. But then we have these big desires for deep connective friendship. And part of I think getting what we want is learning how to ask for it. So
Yeah.
I would say if you're someone who's like really looking for those deep connective friendships, begin to ask for what you want and really become the person that is that for other people.
Yes, totally.
Mhm.
Becoming that, maybe practicing being that even with yourself,
Yes.
with self-talk
Yes,
or
because it
with
always starts
journaling.
there.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am wondering where people can find you. I mean, well, okay, on Instagram.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's
On
at
Instagram, Kara Elise Campbell
Carolise Campbell,
is
and you are coaching.
I am coaching. Yes, I am. I am back and I love it. I love
Very
it so
exciting.
much.
You love coaching.
Oh, I
Like,
love coaching.
you
I
are
really
somebody you're like the first person that I heard talk about coaching without attention in it. You were like, "I am
ah,
obsessed with this." Like, I love it. You love the one-on-one, you love the support,
love
you, like, love it.
no, I
Yes.
love it. And I it's the doula in me. I'm like, I want you to
Yes.
feel more alive. I
Yeah.
want you to have all the things that you want, and we're gonna make sure you get them.
Yes. Right.
So that's the coaching experience for me. Yeah, so Instagram, Kara Elise Campbell. My website, just my personal website is karacampbell.me.
Okay.
And then if you're a mama, I have a brand called Embodied Mama,
Oh,
and
amazing.
we're on Instagram, and our website is the same, embodiedmama.com.
Amazing. And that deck is still something in my little journal stack every day.
Ah, I
They
love
have
it.
an
I pulled
incredible
one this morning. Love it.
Yes. Yeah, they have incredible products to look at. Well, thank you so much. So much for being here. I love it. I hope you'll come back today.
Anytime.
So
Love you.
check out Kara. Love you. Bye, guys.